Hi, I'm Anthony Williams from Knowledge at Wharton High School. I'm joined by Tomas Martinez. Tomas, his brother Armando, and their parents own and operate several franchises in Florida of the California-based company Cream. And it all started in a classroom with a DECA project. So I understand your parents are both Stanford graduates and that not too long ago they were well established in their careers. Fast forward a few years and you all now own and operate several Cream franchise shops in Florida. First, tell me a little bit about Cream and then help us to understand how this became your family venture.
All right, so Cream started in California with a family business. They would always make ice cream sandwiches for their kids, so they thought it was a good idea to open a store. And how we heard about it is when we were going to visit California one time, my brother had to do a project for DECA called International Business Plan, and he was thinking about one company to do, and we just saw this line pouring out, and we were like, oh, what is that? And it was an ice cream sandwich store. It was Cream, and we loved it. So I kept going back. I had like 5 sandwiches that one day, and so my brother decided to do the business on that. And this was when I was in 8th grade. And around a year and a half, 2 years later, after me and my brother would always casually tell my dad and my mom, like, oh, we should open the store, like, as a joke. They were in contact with the company, and it eventually started in Florida, in Aventura. And then after my brother competed, I had seen how much fun he had and how much he learned from that experience that I wanted to do it myself. So then I competed in franchise business plan. And so how that works is it's basically what we did in real life, but I wanted to apply it to a location that could actually be opened in the future. So I wanted to do it in Gainesville, and where University of Florida is. And it was an incredible experience. We got to travel all the way back to California because that's where internationals were. And it was just really cool to see, how it went full circle from starting in California to opening in Florida and then competing at internationals with it and actually getting second place. So.
Interesting. So could you talk a little bit more about that whole competing in nationals and second place in DECA? What does it mean?
So DECA is a business-oriented club, and it teaches entrepreneurship, and then it shows you how to kind of go into a career in the future in the areas of marketing, finance, all those different areas that apply to the business world and different aspects of it. And competition there's obviously different areas depending on what you're interested in, and I competed in a written event, so you actually write an actual business plan of how you're going to open the store, what marketing techniques you're going to use, the projected financials of the business, and then you actually have to give an oral presentation to a potential or mock investor, trying to convince them to invest in the company so you can open the store. And there's many rounds to that, but there's districts, states, and then all the way to California, and that's basically the basics of how that works.
Interesting. So then getting back to your business, right? You described it as a franchise. What is a franchise?
A franchise is when someone tries to look for an already established, proven to be successful business, and then they get in contact with them and actually open their own store, but with those materials and the naming and the brand of it. So it's kind of, you're opening your own business for the first time, but you already have that brand recognition. People are going to be able to, at least have a little bit of an idea of who you are as a company. And it's just easier to start up when you have that base of a corporate background that can help you with many different details of how to get the business started.
Okay. And so we've talked about this generally, right? We've mentioned your parents. We've mentioned the idea of how this came about. Could you give me a little bit more? What is your role in the business necessarily?
All right. So when the business first started, there was a lot of things that had to do with construction and all of those things. And I wasn't necessarily always at the store, but every single time when my parents would come home at dinner, we would always sit around. I would ask them that's all I wanted to know, like, oh, what happened today in the business? Like, what did we do? Like, how far are we? Show me the pictures of the store. And then once the store opened, I've been working as a normal employee, just trying to do each individual area. So in the front with customers, in the back with managing inventory, and just trying to get a little bit of each thing so that I can have a better grasp of the entire business.
Interesting. What's that like for a high school student?
It's really interesting because, I don't know. When it comes to being able to talk to my parents about exactly the details of things outside of just working, it's really cool because I get to have more knowledge about what I'm learning in the classroom and what I had to write the paper on. So it was a unique experience because if I had a question that most other businesses wouldn't really answer a typical high school student, I would be able to ask my parents and really get those answers that are like a unique experience for, obviously, to get, because not a lot of people have that opportunity. So
Interesting. So then you hinted on this, right? It is a very unique experience. And so what would you say are or is your greatest challenge? Right? What are your greatest challenges? What is one great challenge that you might want to?
So individually for me, I think the greatest challenge is when you're working with, your other employees, because I don't find the customer interaction that difficult. I think it's more trying to, when you see another employee doing something that maybe you think could be done a different way, like how to approach them and kind of tell them, oh, I think it should be done this way or this way, and just trying to have that relationship with your coworkers, because I think that'll make the dynamic just more effective, and it would just be a smooth business operation. So.
Interesting. So it seems like this thing has been a very large learning process for you. So what advice would you give to other teens who may aspire to do the same thing?
I think that whatever business you're working at, or obviously if you have that opportunity, take every single possible chance you have to gain any piece of knowledge you can. But even at whatever company you're working at home, just try to get a little bit of every position and put yourself kind of in a managerial role so you can see how you would run the business kind of in your mind and see what decisions you would make differently, what you see as things that the company's doing right, and obviously just learning from every single position, because they're all important to make the business work.
Interesting. So you sound like you have it all figured out.
There's still a lot to learn, but it's been an interesting experience.
So what do you think you're gonna want to do after high school?
I'm not 100% sure yet, but definitely something kind of with a business aspect to it, with a managerial type of experience where I can kind of, again, as I said, look at the different roles and kind of try to make them act as a unit to make the business successful.
Interesting. So let's maybe pivot right from these questions with business. I'm interested to know, and this has been the question I've been wanting to hear, what is your favorite kind of ice cream?
So my favorite kind of ice cream depends on where I'm having the ice cream. I'm very particular with ice cream. I don't know. So
Fair enough.
Cookie dough is my usual go-to, but at Cream, all the ice creams kind of have like their different, unique, manufactured qualities, and the chocolate ice cream is really dense in comparison to the other ones. And I don't know why. I like it so. It's so good. So, that's what I get at Cream.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.